Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the second most famous map in all of Supreme Commanderdom. It is DUALGAP. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1 in the West and ending with Team 2 in the East. Starting off with Team 1's Northern Air player, we have in Batman Gray, Dushka. He is a Cybran as a 2200, the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game. Overall in the Northland here for Team 1 is Cesar JC, or Czar for short. He is a Cybran. He is in Chevy Crimson as an 1800. And rounding out Team 1's northern side is Era 404. He is in Stitch Blue as a UEF, also as a 1700. To the south here in the naval position, we have in Royal Blue, Nav 7119. He is a Cybran for this match as a 1500. In the eco slot here for Team 1, it is Space Hussar, or Usa, I think that's how you say his name. He is in Rust, he is in Aeon as a 1400. And last but not least for Team 1 in the southern air slot is K240 as an Aeon in Imperial Gray as a 1400. So for Team 1 side of the map, they are lacking the Seraphim faction, but they have 3 Cybrans, 2 Aeons, and 1 UEF. Starting up for Team 1's Northern Air player here in Barbie Pink, we have Edelbrook. He is a Seraphim as a 2000 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 2. To his south, we have an Hoshimoshi as a Cybran in Glow in the Dark Green as a 1900. And in Ruby Red, next to him is the Crow for Luck. He is a Cybran as well as a 1600. In the beach position we have for Team 2, it is an orange color orange Boss 1100. He is not 1100, he's actually a 1600. Again, he's playing as a Cybran. In the eco slot here for Team 2 in Pac-Man Yellow is Admiral General. I mean, that's pretty much the same level of rank, depending if you're Navy or Army or Air Force or whatever the official one is for the Air Force. I know Admiral is Navy and General is Army for sure. So I guess he's both. Who knows? He is an Aeon, again a 1500. And last place for Team 2 in Light Octane is Pepe's as a Seraphim. He is also a 1500 in the Southern Air slot for Team 2. Which means for Team 2, they have no UEF players, but they do have 3 Cybrans, 2 Seraphim, 1 Aeon. So Team 1 and Team 2 both have 3 Cybran players, each totaling 6, which means I expect to see at least one of them go Telemazer. I mean, it's a 1 out of 2, out of the players, so there's got to be at least non-zero chance of it happening at some point. And of course, as a reminder, Team 1 lacks the Seraphim faction, Team 2 lacks the UEF faction. We do see that Team 2's Naval player has gone into the oceans, dipped his toes, got his comm nice and water cooled, and is grabbing his mexes there in the southern section of the map. We do see the middle players here for Team 1 and Team 2, at least the land players, are moving into the middle of the map, grabbing those middle mexes, and of course the reclaim. Again, there's not a lot of reclaim on the map. A lot of it is dotted around the edges of the map, and there's a lot of 1s and 2s and 10s and 20s and that sort of thing. Nothing too worrisome. At this point, it's about 10,000 mass, but again, the majority of this map in terms of mass comes from the massive amounts of mass fabs and mexes and all of those glorious SAC or RASCOMs, which the Seraphim faction lacks in this game. Unless you play Phantom, then they have those glorious SACUs. We do see the comm of Czar pushing in to grab the middle mexes. There has a couple of labs moving into a system, already taken out one of those mexes from Admiral General, and we do see that Team 1 has slowly been grabbing the middle of the map. I expect to see T3 air take here online shortly. T2 online, coming online here for Team 1 Southern Air player. T2 air already online for Team 1. T2 online in the north and in the south. But this facility should be reclaimed at some point, given the fact that Admiral General is in the eco slot. Usually they favor nukes, game renders, that sort of thing. So that facility should at least be taken out here shortly, in favor, of course, of going after more SACUs for engineering prowess. We do see the Crow holding his reclaim, at least trying to keep it at bay from those nasty little engineers from Team 1 Czar. We do see Arrow 404 moving in. Team 1 PD trying to be spammed up here, goes for an AA, not a T1 PD, so that's going to be a little bit more annoying. Does prevent just a little bit of bombing runs inbound from Team 1, but I really think you probably would have liked the Team 1 PD. Instead, a couple of T2 engineers. They are Sparkies. Love to see those things on the front lines. They have a nice little cannon on board, one of those little arms, so they can actually fire at their enemies. We do see that Crow is pushing in. Zar coming to assist as well. 3 of the 4 commanders are here. The 4th one is inbound to the north. It is Hoshimoshi. It looks like the Crow might be shoved in the water for now. A couple of Mongeese on the scene. They have some nice grenade launchers on their left arm to be able to assist with a little bit of the crowd support that they need to. And Hoshimoshi backs up and goes, that's probably not worth engaging. And with the 2 commanders from Team 1 and Team 2's Crow pushed back, this position will fall. I don't know if it actually will go into the hands of Team 1, but at least at a minimum it will be taken out. And the engineering prowess on the front line for Team 2 will be diminished severely. In the southern section of the map, we have a couple of Natha fighter bombers inbound to go after K240's engineers and T3 mexes. Unfortunately, that one does upgrade to T3. The mass storages are taken out, but at a minimum, the facility does upgrade to T3, so it doesn't have to be rebuilt. And all of that mass and energy wasted on its upgrade. We do see T2 Navy online for Boss 1100. And Team 1's naval player of Mav, not even in the water at all. Looks like he might be a secondary eco player, it looks like, because not even dipping his toes into Navy. Or at least over here in the main slot. He is here in the middle. It looks like he's upgrading his frontline facility to T2. Usually you see it right off the coast or right off the beach, but it looks like it's going to be more frontline, which has the benefit of cutting down travel time. The downside is if Team 2 rushes in, that naval facility will be wiped out very quickly, and then he loses T2 or perhaps even T3 Navy. So having that backup back at base is probably a better idea. We do see a nice little strap bomber inbound from Dushka, and a nice little fighter bomber online takes out a group of T2 mechs. His map's going to be a little bit annoyed at that. Team 1 Thistle nearby. Looks like another bomb. Going to go after this slot, trying to take out these T2 mechs here. The bombs will drop. It will take out that group of T2 mechs. Oh no, it needs one more bomb to drop. But it does take out the mass storages at a minimum. Gun upgrade online for the Crow, assisted by Hoshimoshi. He's helping to rep up the hit points and, of course, help with the stealth upgrade. At least his engineers will be. Hoshimoshi trying to push back in the northern side of the lands, are moving in to intercept those forces. And it looks like Team 1's frontline player of Arrow is now returned to base, not wanting to stay there for far too long. Strap bomber inbound, taking out a nice little mech, and I think a pigeon as maybe a pigeon? Yeah, that's a pigeon, so that's going to be a little bit annoying for the land player of Crow. Strap bomber inbound does impact the shielding, going to be a little bit annoying with that. ASFs are inbound from Edel, and that's going to knock out that strap bomber from the sky. Very unfortunate, but it did take out a mech, and it did take out a pigeon, so it's something. It's not great, but it's something. T2 destroyers online for Boss. Nice little Salems. I don't think we'll see the leg sprout in this game. And Team 2 is pushing in into the Team 1's Navy. A couple of subs pretty much renamed. The rest of the frigates will be wiped out here shortly. We do see some mermaids here for some torp defenses, as well as some stealth and other nonsense. And it's looking like destroyers are, of course, the main menu item here for Team 1 and Team 2 in Navy. But I don't think Team 1's going to be there for much longer, at least the front line. T2 backup naval facility coming online here for Zar. And Team 1 has not necessarily one land, but they've done a lot of damage. So Team 2 is going to be severely behind. T2PD trying to track that Crow commander, and they're doing a pretty good job. A couple of shots do miss once in a while, but he is suffering a decent lack of hit points. He does have Nano on board. His goal is to really take out that shield generator. Once that's gone, then everything else can be dealt with quite easily. But he's dropping pretty close to the red, so he has to be very careful not to get sniped by Team 1. This is a share until death game, which means if he dies, all of the stuff that he built is up in flames and will be reclaimed by his teammates. Team 1 sitting at a little bit more income than Team 2 in terms of mass at about 5. Team 2 maybe power related is actually in the lead, possibly maybe, but those net totals are fluctuating quite frequently. So Team 1 is barely in the lead, but I did see Team 2 eke up to 600 a little bit before that. Looks like a couple of bombers inbound from Team 1's Dushka, but they do get shot down by Team 2's ASFs. There aren't that many ASFs online for Team 2 now, so really there's really no air lead for either team, but Team 2 has say a very, 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 very slight lead. Destroyer off the shoreline for Hoshimoshi, coming in to assist his land teammate of the Crow. He has his own naval facilities, of course. It isn't gifted over by Boss. T3 Air also online for space. Hussar, he's going for just more engineers, trying to upgrade a bunch of course, his T3 mexes. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him go nuke, artillery, something. It is kind of the main flavor of this game, is all of the toys are on display. Which one do you want to pick is really what it comes down to. You see the number of destroyers for Team 1 is not where they would really like it, but Team 2 does have the numbers to support their fleet, and of course there's more engineers coming in to assist the more construction efforts of Team 1. That destroyer is down, another one inbound from Zar to replace it, but Team 1 is losing their frontline mexes due to the naval bombardment from Hoshimoshi, and of course the efforts of the Crow on land. We have 2 naval players technically in the game for each team. It's the pseudo-naval players with the main naval players. Team 1 not doing as well as Team 2 is in Navy, and that frontline T2 facility is now knocked offline. ARAS coming online here for the Southern Air player of K240 for Team 1, and T2 coming online for space. Maybe he's going to go... I mean, with that configuration... Okay, he is going to go for mass FAF. I was going to say maybe he could put some air facilities here if he desperately wants to, but looks like he is going to go for his mass expansions. We do see a couple of mexes are going to get wiped out by those torpedoes on board those subs and destroyers. And we do see that the frontline position, the T3 land facility, coincidentally enough, on the front line. I don't think T3 definitely would have been I mean, T2 would have been fine, but I think T3 is a little bit too much, especially because naval power is lost. He's going to have to rebuild that back here anyways, so I feel like that would have been better to have here, save the mass, at least with the T3 upgrade. Keep the T2, but I don't think that's going to really do much there because it does get destroyed. Looks like it actually got Control K'd there, and Team 1 is losing ground in land. They're also losing ground in Navy, well, water in Navy. The Team 2 doing very well, having a nice little comeback in the north, and doing very well pushing back Team 1 in the naval slots. We do see air expansion here for Team 2 Southern Air player. Mass Fabs coming online here for Admiral and to the north. No air expansion as of yet. Looks like it's T3 mechs construction out of the husk of the T2 mexes. There is, of course, the not prevailing theory, but it just depends on how fast you can rebuild the T3 mechs. I think it's 2.5 minutes? And it would be better to reclaim than build. If it's more than 2.5 minutes, then it'd be better to just upgrade. I think that's how that math works. At one point I remember what it was, but it's been ages ago since I actually do remember definitively. But look at this pressure from Navy. Team 1's possible other land player of Era might have to dip his toes in Navy as well. He has UEF. He can get those Neptunes, get those Atlanti online. But now we see naval bombardment going down on Mav's position. He's at... well, he's just going to deal with Navy himself, going for a torpedo on board. He's just going to have to watch out for those torpedoes on board those Salems, because they can rip him down very quickly. There is a cruiser in the mix. Love to see that from Team 2's Hoshimoshi. Takes out actually a bunch of bombers before they even deploy their torpedoes. And we're seeing more cruisers coming in line here for Boss as well. Naval facilities are starting to be ripped apart very quickly. Team 1 is losing a lot of territory. We have T2 artillery being built very, very quickly here on the shoreline to help deal with those Salems. And it's just a lot of bombardment. Harms have been built here by Team 1 Zar just to throw Team 2 back. But I think somebody might end up dying here from Team 1. Error is on the front lines himself. He's on the shoreline as much as he can. He's trying to strike at that Salem class, but I don't think he's going to be long for this world. It doesn't look like Team 2 is going to try to pin him down. Torpedo bombers also inbound from the Southern Air player of K240 to assist. They've dealt with most of the forces from Hoshimoshi, but Boss is still alive. And there goes Team 1's first player of the game. It is Error 404. He got one of those error codes and had to dip out of there. It is now a 6v5 in favor of the Eastern team of Team 2. And with everything that Error built, will go up in flames. There it goes. A couple of engineers also died over there. Nice little kaboom there here for Team 1. Of course, all of that will still be in Team 1's hands, but it will take a little bit more time to rebuild. Missile launchers and the comm of Crow continuing their just scorched earth approach and just burning everything down. We're even seeing Team 1's eco player of Space coming in to assist with his own torpedo bomber, so it's really just a mad dash to get these things out of there. And it looks like they've done a great job of just shoving them back. We even see some spam land facilities down here just in case Team 2 sends something that way. And I don't think any plans as of yet for... Oh, okay, we'll scratch that. Team 1's already thought about how to end the game, 20 minutes on the clock. And it is an artillery piece from Space in the east. We have a counter artillery piece that's already in the... Actually, I want to split things just for a brief second. I think it's almost in the exact same position. Oh, wow, that is pretty close. I mean, I think Team 1's is a little bit more north in terms of, I'm looking at where the T3 mix is right here, or the T3 mix right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7. So it's really just the length of a T3 PGen. But anyways, it's pretty doggone close about where those artillery pieces are. So that is that like a newer meta thing? Because I don't remember people building. I mean, people have built it here, but both teams doing the exact same thing, I feel like is a little bit more of a meta thing than anything else. Lots of torpedo bombers over the top here, just wreaking havoc on Team 2's naval fleet. We do see some more cruisers being produced to try to counter them. There are some torp defenses on board those Salems, but again, as I always say, 1,000 of anything will kill anything or overwhelm one or the other. So, not really looking good for those destroyers. But they do end up getting back to friendlier territory. Land is just kind of in a weird limbo stage. Team 1 has a couple of bricks online. The Crow does have enough firepower to take those out. 5-star vetted comm, 108 hit points a second regen. It does get pinged by Team 1. There's also a nice little destroyer on land being like, hey, you brick, go away. I get that you're faster than me, possibly. I think the brick, I mean, you would assume a brick would be faster than a big giant boat on land with tiny little legs. It does have 6 legs, to be fair, but still. I think it's actually slower. I think. I don't know. Again, don't don't come to me for like 100% accurate facts when it comes to exact stats and whatnot in the game, because I'm not one of those that knows like this unit moves this fast per second and this unit moves this fast per second, or this is how fast this gun shoots. I don't know that. So I just know what it kind of looks like, not necessarily what it actually is. Go home, please, says Pepe's. And Era says weird face, or I don't even know what that was about. But the T3 SACU spam is underway. It's almost in the green, that artillery piece from Team 1. Team 2's is online. Ooh, not great here for Team 1. I would assume it would immediately target the one being built by Team 1. You would... Oh, that is Team 1, not Team 2. Team 1 does know... Sorry, Team 2 knows about Team 1's. There is no SMD. So that's a nice little benefit for Team 2 to know about. So if there's a nuke potentiality for Team 2, that's probably where they're going to launch a nuke at it and blow some stuff up. Maybe they're going to put it right here. I don't know. We'll see. Don't like how close it'd be to those mass fabs, but that's just me. And SMD is built. And nuke. No nuke here for Team 1. Sorry, for Team 2 in the east. And mass fab spam over there also. Spy planes over top will give a readout on what Team 1's up to. Artillery piece will get pinged indefinitely, and now with the construction of it, it will be easily to spot in the fog of war. Actually, we'll see it pop online right about... Oh, come on. You're gonna... Yeah, there it is. Waiting for the little square to pop up. And Team 2 still holding out here with the Crow. I was going to say the Crown, but the Crow. And Team 1's fleet has expanded quite nicely. Team 2 still controls the majority of the pond, but they might start to get some pushback here. The artillery from those boats starting to be very annoying to the Crow. The Crow actually has a couple of T2 artillery pieces here, some Gunthers, but they're pointed northwest, going after this position up here. Not down here where all these Salems are kind of hanging out. And that shield is about to crack. Secondary shield is online, but I don't think those things are going to last much longer. PGen goes the way of the dodo, but it's nothing too critical. I'm assuming Team 2 is going to send their fleet in at some point, but haven't done so as of yet. Shields around the artillery have been constructed, but Team 1 Space has suffered a huge loss. All those mass fabs and PGens are gone. Gets a nice little T3 Aeon shield to assist, but a little bit too late in that regard. Air expansion here down in the south for K240 in the east. Second artillery has been thought about by Admiral. Hasn't actually started building it yet, but looks like efforts are underway. We do see more mass fabs planned for him as well, so it looks like he's going to build those first and then build them. In the east, players have now hid themselves in the water. Don't blame them. It is, of course, a tried and true method of protecting your comm long term in Dual Gap. Oh, in most FAF games as well, but specifically Dual Gap. Artillery still raining in on Space's position, but I feel like the artillery for him would be a little bit more better of a target, but it looks like a second artillery piece has been thought about as well by Team 1. So both of the eco players thinking relatively lockstep, except Team 2's Admiral sitting at 400, Space sitting at 370, and that's, of course, due to the lack of the mass fabs right here from that side of the map. Team 2's fleet starting to be pushed back in Navy as well, and of course the Salems can't target 180 degrees behind them, so it makes it a little bit difficult to fire while running away, but they of course are getting into friendlier territory. Tempest coming online here for K240 out from the air player, so looks like it's going to be an interesting setup where we have 2 players in Navy for each team, and then at least for Team 1 we have just a unit being built by K240, because why not? And interestingly enough, there's really not that much air for either team. I mean, we are seeing more ASF buildup, but there's not really a lot of strap bombers, gunships, that sort of thing that we normally see. We saw one from Team 1, and I think we saw a second one that got shot down immediately, but really nothing much. And Team 2's player of, who was that was in land? Not Boss, but everything gets donated over to the Crow, and it looks like maybe somebody had to go somewhere. That would be, no, Pepe's is still in it. Looks like it's being gifted over to Boss. Where is that comm? Oh, Hoshimoshi. Looks like Hoshimoshi had to go somewhere, so he gave his stuff over to his teammates. It's better than leaving, because if you leave, all your stuff blows up, so it's better to just keep the game open, go do something else if you have to, and call it a day there. I don't blame him. Maybe the dog's being annoying or something, or he has to go get some pizza, or, you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and he's just completely tired but doesn't want to shut off his PC sort of thing. I get it. I really do. There's more shields being built here by Space, as well as, of course, getting a second artillery piece online. Almost done halfway. Team 2's artillery piece is a little bit over in the yellow, but again, is a little bit further behind. We do see more PGens, of course, being built to assist the fire rate on board that emissary, and more shields being built everywhere else. The game has kind of slowed down a little bit, so I think it's a good time to look at the game overall. Team 1, 1.4, 1.5k mass income. Team 2, 1.9, with Team 2's Admiral at 440 and Boss almost at 400 with dual base. So a lot of players on Team 2 at 300 plus eco. That is a lot of mass to be in favor, especially in this game where not mass fabs, but those very, very big, expensive game enders, lots of satellites, lots of the everything else start to be thought about here in this game. So let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, because why not at this point, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so very much for watching. I really, really, really do appreciate it. We do see a nice little T3 Galaxy class battleship, actually a second one online for Boss, and a third one as well. Team 2 is just pumping those things out, and Team 1 does not have anything in T3 as of yet. They're upgrading to that point as we speak. The battleship, though, is past the 50% mark, and Mav looks like he's just going to sit in the corner, and looks like maybe he had to go somewhere, so everything from him gets transferred over to Czar. So we have 2 players effectively just out of the game, but not actually out of the game. We do see some TMD built as well, so just in case some Bowie Nuke snipage comes out from Team 1, they want to make sure that isn't possible. But point being, The only UAF player in the game was Error 404, and he was killed off immediately, so there are no Billy Nukes on the cards here for either team. And the artillery position here for Team 2 is going to collapse. The Monkey Lord is barely alive, but it is alive nonetheless. Bricks making their way forward. The laser might help get its veterancy up to 2 to get some more hit points, using its longer range cannon to do just a little bit more damage. Lots of tickle cannons online, and now the monkey is being shot at by said tickle cannons, and it does not get to its 2-star veterancy, which means it probably will almost die here. The artillery is going to rain in here shortly, and that's going to be a dead Monkey Lord for Team 1. Port bombers inbound, going after those destroyers, clearing the way for the battleships and other support fleets. Second artillery piece is now online for Team 1, so we should see a little bit more damage to the everything else for Team 2. Artillery for Team 2 is almost online as well, and they're pretty much lockstep with one another, and it might just come down to who can break the shielding first. Airfire over the top here. It looks like Team 1 will win it. Team 2's other air player of Edel is not here, which means the win will go to Team 1. There is a decent ASF grouping here for Brock as well, Edel Brock. He's sitting at 130, 140. Team 1 sitting at 115 plus probably another 50 or 60, 54 from K240. So Team 1 is in the lead, but a couple of good turns will win Team 2 the air victory. Looks like the artillery from Team 2 actually not going after the artillery piece from Team 1, going after the SMD. It looks like they want to knock out SMD coverage to allow a nuke to come in. Well, there's the nuke. I was wondering if somebody had a plan for that, and now it looks like Edel wants to end the game with some fire explosions. Definitely not something I would be opposed to. A third artillery piece has been thought about here for Admiral as well, and he's building, or not him, but other people are building. Stop back here. Pepper is building more. Are those P-gens or mass fabs? That is a mass fab P-gen array. Third artillery piece for Team 1, maybe, possibly, maybe. No. Looks like more shielding. Is the shielding holding for Team 2? Yeah, but they're not really going after the same thing. Looks like it might be a little bit of a AoE, but it doesn't matter because both of them go down. Oh, both of those emissaries are dead in the, I was going to say dead in the water, but dead on the land for Admiral. Ooh, that's not great. Team 1 has the only artillery pieces online. If the SMDs do go down, that would mean that a nuke can come in. This SMD is not loaded, so Team 2 could launch a nuke and take out a whole mess of stuff here. But it is not on the cards as of yet here for Team 2. The nuke is almost loaded. They might be going to the north. This SMD is loaded, so pretty much anything it targets up here will be fine. But anything in the south, if that SMD goes down, that's not great. The naval fleet is moving in, but of course there are some T3 Galaxies online for Team 1, and the Tempest is almost down for K240. And it looks like it's just going to be a nice little just run into the middle and die kind of thing. There is a Monkey Lord on the shoreline. One of the Galaxies is already down. There's another one inbound, 2 of them still here in the fight. Monkey Lord trying to get in range of its main cannon. Looks like it will grab a nice little Salem there. I'm just going to walk along the beach and just take stuff out as it can. And we do see that Team 2 is shifting their forces southward to compensate for that Monkey Lord sitting on the northern side. 1 Galaxy versus 3. Don't like that odds here from Team 1's perspective, but they have a lot of engineers pumping out as many ships as possible. Also get some Barracudas in there to help assist with some torpedoes, because the Galaxy-class battleships do not have torp defense, but they do have torpedoes. So just like the Team 4 sub-aircraft carrier from the UEF, they have a lot of torpedoes, no torp defense, those Atlantis. So that is a good way to counter them, is just spam a bunch of those. It looks like this Galaxy is about to go down. Team 2 still has 2 more over here. They have 4 of them. Team 1 still retains essentially their original one. And this is going to be a lot of reclaim for Team 1 to scoop up. Another battleship is about to go down. Team 2, by all accounts, should have everything just wiped out, but it's the more of just how many things are shooting at them versus how many things Team 1 is shooting at is the difference here. We are seeing more and more ships just running into Team 1's main fleet. Another battleship's about to go down. Team 2 will probably keep the other 2 online. Granted, the rest of this fleet from Team 1 is pretty much wiped out. And artillery just whizzing on by here on the nice little screen here. Nuke has been started and is half loaded for Team 1. And again, that SMD is loaded, so that will be a huge, huge target for Team 2 to still go after, because now a nuke has been added to that mix. That's a very big, juicy target. And that is the thing with with Dual Gap, is you kind of just conglomerate into one big, giant base versus having your own individual bases. Nuke is outbound, and now where is this one going? This could be very crucial if it doesn't go out. Oh, well, it does allow for this Tempest to actually move out a lot easier. If it doesn't move fast enough, it actually will die, but I think given the distance in terms of how far that nuke has to travel, it should be fine. It looks like the target is the T3 Naval Headquarters. Team 1 is pumping out more Galaxies as we speak, but Team 2 still has more, and they're building their own Tempest, so that is on the cards as well. Second Tempest back here as well, so 2 Tempests started here by Admiral. Probably should just finish one and then do the other one instead of trying to build 2 at the same time. Nuke is outbound. This Tempest should be fine. The one that was just started is going to be immediately annihilated. And there goes the T2 and T3 Naval Headquarters. Kaboom! First nuke of the game takes out at Headquarters and knocks out Team 1's power in Navy, at least for a little bit. This one can actually upgrade to T3. So it's actually not a bad idea to just do that. That's why it's nice to have a T2 Naval Headquarters or a T2 HQ backup, because then you could just immediately upgrade that one to T3 instead of going from Team 1 then to T2 then to T3. You can just skip a step there. It looks like Monkey Lords are running amok here for Team 1. There's 3 of them up here going after one from Team 2. This one is going to get a kill, but this one is going to die here shortly. Gets a rank in veterancy, though, so it may be able to stave off death, at least for a tiny bit longer. And Team 1's, of course, power in Navy has been just cut at the knees, but it shouldn't be too bad. Once the facility gets orders to upgrade, it should be fine. Nuke is outbound from Team 1, and it's going this way. And is there an SMD? No, there's not, because it's been taken out. There's, oh, no, it's down here. Never mind. It's down here. Never mind. I thought there was one up here. But that nuke will be shot down by Team 2's nice little SMD, and this is going to be a backup when it built for Admiral. And I don't think the shielding will crack in time for the nuke to be not prevented from being taken out, essentially not shot down. Looks like some artillery is landing up to the north, trying to take out a little bit of Pigeon stuff for Crow. And that's another Galaxy online. There's just a lot of those being pumped up by Team 2. T3 Pigeon goes down. The nuke is shot down, I should say. But Team 1 still has those 2 artillery pieces, so Team 2 can't fight back in that regard unless they build their own. Nuke is loaded once more and half loaded to a second one. And there is a YOLO started here for Pepe's. There it is. T4 game ender of the YOLO class is soon to be upon us. Is there anything happening spicy in the north? Just more air grid here. And looks like power stoning here for Duska. Definitely not a great thing to do, especially on keep saying Setins on Dual Gap. Second Tempest is almost done here for Czar. And still the artillery pace is online. Crab is not going to be started. Monkey is down for Team, I think that was Team 1's, I believe. Maybe that's Team 2's. But Team 1's ASF might just engage. The one sitting on the, not even sitting on the ground. The one's just sitting here. But they're not on the ground, which is a little bit better. But the ASF count definitely favors Team 2, I believe. I don't know why this fight is happening without the ASF from K240. And it's just a clean swipe by Team 2. I have no idea what was going on, but definitely not a great trade there. It's not like they were trying to protect a bug, or which they tried to do, but didn't really go anywhere anyways. I don't get it. Looks like there was some torp bombers coming in, and that's what they were going for. They went after Admiral General is who they actually, no, that's Hoshimushi. Granted, Admiral General's down here, which, to be fair, that does kill off everything that he built initially. So it was a nice grab, a nice distraction, but was it worth it? I don't think so. I mean, this base does go up in flames. A lot of engineers go down, but I don't think it's that bad for Team 2. It's now a 5v5 game. It's tied up, but had they grabbed maybe Edel, maybe if they grabbed Admiral General or something, would have been a lot better. But the player that was already kind of out of the game in terms of not even physically doing anything, not great. We do see there is something going on. we have a salvation started here, and it's almost already in the yellow. Sorry, in the green. Ooh, interestingly enough here for Team 1, K240, and it looks like Space are working on that together. Tempest versus Tempest with Galaxies mixed in there. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 nearby here for Team 2 and the Tempest. Team 1 has 2 of them with 1 Galaxy. And that Galaxy is going to take a hit to the face. That one is 1 shot away from death. There's a lot of spam facilities to distract all those artillery shots from Team 2. And that Siren is now down. Maybe the AA is the target, but there's still a lot of ASFs guarding this group of naval vessels here from Team 2. Admiral General finishes another experimental with another Tempest. Teleporter started here for him, coincidentally enough. We'll see what he does with that. Maybe he'll do TAC missile snipe, maybe? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that'd be... I don't think they're going to get the SMD. There's also a secondary one in there as well, so... And there's a tertiary one. So there's 3 SMDs here, so I highly doubt they're going to go for that. Maybe they know about the salvation. There's 1 random TMD right here, another one right there, so it'll grab a couple of missiles. It won't block all of them, but it'll grab some at least. Barracuda's inbound to assist, but there is now 6 Galaxies versus 2 Tempests and a Tempest. That one is almost dead, to be fair, so there goes the shot. It should just be the last nail in the coffin. There it goes. Tempest is down. Lots of reclaim, of course, to scoop up on the map. Currently sitting at 173,000 mass. Those are numbers we love to see. Of course, a chunk of that is just the stuff that Hoshimoshi built. Shields are actually they're not great, but there's a lot of assistance. So, granted, I would like to see more just basic shielding, or even some T2, or just shielding sitting there, not even supported. But you know, at least it's there at a minimum. Now we look at Admiral's position, in which shielding is being constructed even more. It looks like that's going to be fine for now. The YOLO is in the yellow, almost 50% done. Does Team 1 know about it? Is the big... Oh, yeah, they know about it. And that's a little eye on it. So they got my eye on you, essentially. So not great here for Team 2. But it's going to take a little bit more than just... Well, I was going to say just for a couple of T3 artilleries. But they have a T4 Salvation online. So not great. That's why you need to build shielding immediately. That's why you got to build it. And that Pigeon array is going to blow up that YOLO. Not great here for Pepe's. He was almost half done with that thing. Oh, not great. Looks like Pepe's is annoyed about something. Oh, no. There goes that YOLO. Team 1 has a salvation. And it is going to destroy shielding. I hear strap bombers over here from Team 2's air player of Edo going after the monkeys running around the back line here for the land for Crow. That base is still online. Lots of PD, lots of artillery, lots of shielding, and a nice little suits there to get a ton of vision for the middle of the map. Look at this. That's how far they can see, almost into the front line land player. That was Error, but he's now dead. But Czar Tempest has backed up a little bit. Is he deploying engineers? Yes, he is. He's deploying it. Yes, gotta love it. T3 engineers being deployed out of a Tempest to then construct a new Tempest. I feel like that's just construction with extra steps at this point, but the Galaxies are moving in, and it's not looking good. The naval bombardment, and Colossus is on the shoreline. There's also a crab here for space, so that should be dealt with quite nicely. The target is going to be those artillery pieces, but of course the Salvation is online, so that's a thing. And it has actually maximum speed because it has some T1 Pigeons assisting it. That definitely looks like a nice little template there. The Galactic Colossus is actually going to focus on the crab and not on anything else. But it was a decent amount of shielding, so it's just kind of how the way the cookie crumbles there. The key to salvation. That's the only thing I don't like about one of the only things I don't like about the Aeon shielding. It makes things very hard to see. All the other shielding, either it's a clear or it's like a blue tint. This is a gray tint, so it makes it, again, look at this, like it's very difficult to just get a nice little view on this thing. But anyway. Still Team 2 not pushing in as much as they probably could. That Tempest is still in range of those Galaxies, and those Galaxies are not in range of the Tempest, so that's going to be a nice little AoE. Takes out that one. That one's going to die here shortly. Engineer's actually trying to repair them, it looks like. But with all those Barracudas nearby, I don't think that's going to happen. That's a lot of sub-killers. Team 2 needs some torp defenses or just a bunch of stuff to wipe out those sub-killers. Team 2 probably should invest in some Yasels, which Team 1 does not have access to, so there's that. It looks like the mass fab grid is not going to look good here pretty shortly. That one's going to blow up and kill off this one, kill off this one, kill off... It's going to be just a huge cascade. Come on. I want to see it blow up. I want to see it blow up. Oh, 952 hit points remaining. Shields are collapsing, of course. 512 hit points remaining. Something blew up. Oh, come on. I want to see it. I want to see it. Artillery raining in. Oh, 292 hit points. This stuff's blowing up down here. No, it was right there. Oh. But it looks like the SMD is actually the target, so that's going to be a better cascade. T3 artillery also assisting the salvation. And it's just a rip and tear scenario here for Team 1. Legions are going down. Air grid is going down. Not looking good. That YOLO might have been the key to Team 2 coming back in this game. But Nuke is outbound from Team 1. The SMD is down. It's going to target something down here, I would surmise. There is an SMD right here. And no, it's actually going to go north. Is it just going to take out that base from Crow? Is that what it's going to... Oh, no, actually, no. It's going after the crabs. It looks like crabs might actually get out of the way of this. ASF's over top. Definitely don't want to be sitting underneath that nuke. Ooh, it's a little bit too further to the east. Oh, they tried to stop the movement, but kaboom. Doesn't take out much. But a couple of engineers and shielding. Oh, that mass fab is almost dead. It would cascade everything. Oh, well, not everything, but a huge chunk of it at least. Drop bombers over the top of something. Looks like they went after the SMD or pigeons or something. There's still some shots inbound. Shields are starting to crumble. I don't know what's shooting at them. But it looks like everything is done and dusted from Team 2's perspective. It was an attempt, but Team 1 had just a lot of shield coverage and AA. There is a couple of missiles over here. Those aren't the ones that launched at Team 1. Strategic launch detected. Another nuke is outbound from Team 2. Unless, oh, nope, Team 1 has a nuke up here. And it's going after this, but yeah, that's not going to live much longer. I can nuke bottom side, says Edel. And, well, I mean, you could, but there's still a bunch of SMD coverage, so that's not going to work. A couple of shielding. Looks like that's another shield. Emitter. A bunch of mass fabs went up, but only T2s, so nothing too crazy. Missiles. Are they online and loaded? They are loading. Explosions happened over here. Kaboom! Some engineers do survive the blast. An SMD is going to be rebuilt, but that frontline position is not online any longer. The air grid is not looking good here for Team 2's Pepes. And more Tempest, more Barracudas online for Team 1 means not great things here for Team 2's Navy. Just the eradication of the everything. Torpedo launchers trying to be spammed up, but they don't live very long, and there's a lot of things to shoot at in the water. Missile array. Those look like it gets spotted by Team 1. Oh, yeah, it's spotted. They know something's going on. They obviously assume what it is. There's not a lot of things that would be a bunch of squares sitting up on top of that plateau. Either it's now or never here for that missile launcher battery to go after that salvation. Again, the thing is, what do they go after? Because they could try to target the artillery here or the nuke over here, or nukes, I should say. There's two of them over here. Missiles are inbound. They're going after space. That's going to be the target. There is some TMD here. They take out some of the shielding. Another volley is going to be required. Space, are you going to be moving? Space is not moving yet. The pings are just spamming on top of space comms like, you got to move that thing. Or just shoot at it or something. Looks like the missile volley is going to go northward instead. It's going to impact the shielding. There is some Team D being built. Lots of Zappers as well. I think the time for that is down. It looks like there was an attempt by some teleporting SACUs from Team 2. And it was just not enough. The thing's on less than 700 hit points. I actually missed that. Apologies. That makes me think Team 2 just has to teleport one more in and call it a day there. Yeah, that's what those are. Is there another one over here from Team 2? Those are Seraphim, so I wonder if there's a Seraphim SACU somewhere that's hiding from... Oh, there's a couple down here. They're building some mass fabs. But, oh, there goes the cascade I was talking about. Oofed. Not great. Another nuke outbound from Team 1. Teleportation has been initialized. Where is it? Oh, it's coming from here. Short jumps. Short jumps are better than long jumps. At least in this game. Oh, it's going to destroy that salvation most handedly. Not great here for Team 1, but they do have the 2 artillery pieces plus all of the nukes plus all of the everything else. They have the Navy, and they're pushing it down Team 2's throats. Look at this. We have some Barracudas inbound for some comms. There goes the SACUs. Immediately targeted. They blow up. They destroy the salvation. And, of course, it's going to be planned for an immediate reconstruction effort. And that might just be the end of those teleporting SACUs from Team 2. And, again, it's very costly. I think it's about 16,000 mass, 17,000 mass per thing destroyed. That Team 1 can easily scoop up, which will definitely fund the construction of another salvation. Team 2 has thought about starting another YOLO. Barracuda's going after somebody in the water. Boss has got to move. He's losing hit points quite quickly here. Will he make it to land? He hasn't even been given his comm orders to move yet. Half of his hit points are gone. He would probably make it to land, but I don't think he's willing to do that at this point. He's lost Navy. There's really not much in this game. I think he's just accepted his fate. And there he goes. Some Barracudas do... well, actually, those are some engineers that actually blow up. But that is a kill here for Team 1. Czar dropping this game to a 5v4. And in the west, Crabs trying to move in from Team 2 get just cornered by a bunch of Crabs and Bug and Gunship from Team 1's air player. And another explosion, another SACU go up in flames. The nuke is still online. Kill up 44,000 mass. Looks like it damaged something. Oh, there it goes. Kaboom! Takes out a couple of facilities, but the T3 naval facility either was wiped out or was never actually rebuilt. So they don't have any oh no, they didn't even go for galaxies. Yeah, they just went for straight T2 sub killers. I mean, that's one way to do it. And looks like an explosion to the north. Admiral Adrenaline tries to teleport in and do exactly what he did down there, but it just doesn't work. So there he goes. Team 2 loses another player, and everything he built is not going to be gone here shortly. Team 1 has 5 players left. Team 2 at 3 players left. Another nuke outbound here from Edelbrock. And it is inbound for this position once again, but it's not really going to get much. They could try to go for one of the comms in the water, but none of those comms are going to be moving anyways and not even in danger. Scanthus has been thought about here by Space. Salvation still in construction for K240. And that will possibly be done here shortly. YOLO has been started back up into yellow, but again, as I stated before, there's no shielding. So just a couple of artillery strikes, and that's it. Kaboom. Oh, okay, you must have heard me from the ether there, Pepes, because you're building shielding now, so... Still, should have built it the first time. Another nuke outbound here from Edelbrock, and it's inbound for these Crabs, but I don't think it's really going to hit anything. Gunships coming in, getting wiped out by a bunch of flak and T3 AA SAM sites. Not a great day here to be a whaler. But that T4 Bug gunships will help out. Another nuke outbound from Team 1. This time it's from the northern side. Killed off 116,000 mass. That Dushka nuke launcher. And actually, it's going to land right in front of that Colossus. It might grab the Crab. Oh, it does grab the Crab. Nice job there. It takes out a gunship as well. Kaboom! But it's not going to really stop the land push. But it does get an experimental kill, so that is something. Salvation is almost in the green. YOLO is almost half done. It's actually over half done. It's loading incredibly fast now. Look at it. It's at 0 speed, and it's hundreds of hit points per second. It'll finish there shortly, but kaboom to the north. This base for the Crow is dead and gone. We have some Tempest off on the shoreline. I think they actually are in range, or the YOLO's actually in range of them, I think. Maybe, just maybe. Ooh, yeah, they are in range. 177,000 mass killed, 177,000 mass destroyed. It's up to 181,000. Man, that thing has killed a bunch of stuff. Strap bomber over top going after that one. Well, that's not going to really do much to either of them. 90,000 hit points on board that Tempest, that 5-star vetted. And that Salvation is now in the green. Team 1's got to know about that YOLO. No, I mean the signature is there, but they don't really know what's going on with it. Artillery landing in, bug over top, nuke goes down. The air grid for Team 2's Edel is up in flames. His engineers are trying to support the shielding. It's staying online, but a nuke is inbound, so even if the gunships are not successful, the nuke from Team 1, the nuke is not even going to be needed because here goes the everything else. Oof. Oof. There that goes. Team 2's entire northern side essentially devoid of the everything. And Team 2's YOLO is done. Team 2, one game ender in the game, building SMDs immediately. And it is being assisted, its construction. And I think Team 1 might know that it is done at this point, possibly, maybe, possibly, if they're paying attention to it. Here comes that nuke that wasn't even needed. Oh no, the butt, no! Okay, they move out of range. They're like, oh no, oh no. We're going the wrong way there. Just destroys, reclaim nothing, anything of value lost there besides just mass that Team 2 could possibly even scoop up even if they wanted to. Another nuke outbound from Team 1's Dushka, going for this grouping of mass extractors down there. There is no SMD, so it could actually go after this. Team 2's YOLO does fire a a big nuke. But it's going to be a tall order for Team 2 to choose for, at least initially 5 there, 2 there, 3 there, and 3 there. So what does that make it? 10? There's 3 in this one, and 2 in this one. That's 5, 10, 13 SMDs. That's going to be essentially 4, maybe 5 YOLO missiles if they fire it fast enough. But Salvation Fire raining in on that YOLO. Kaboom! There goes that grouping of mass fabs and a couple of SACUs. That YOLO is going to just not have a fun day today. It's not your day, YOLO. It's just not your day. And kaboom! There goes that YOLO. And Pepe's, that's his last, really his big ticket item. Everything else is gone. Nice little shockwave from that to YOLO. Nice little graphic there. And there goes Pepe's comm. He control Ks, leaving the Crow and Edel, the last 2 comms remaining for Team 2, and there's really nothing left. That's gotta hurt. Everything down there is gone, leaving the Crow alone down there. Land incursion by Czar, because why not? Artillery raining in on Crow's commander. Do we see the yellow line? Nope, we don't see the yellow line. This is all they can see. They don't really know much what else is going on the map. There is a T2 tickle cannon shooting at whatever else is going down there. Explosion happens. More SSUs are gone. There's one right here. The Crow is just down to essentially a couple of, well, really nothing. Team 2, control Ks, and that is the game here, folks. 52 minutes, 38 seconds on the clock. Team 1 wins the game. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this match. MVP for me, I mean, it's between 2 because you have Space, who did such a good job of getting the artillery online, getting the nukes online, getting SMDs online, helping construct the Salvation. Same with K240. They did a very good job on the southern side with all of the everything down there. Northern side, we had good nukes from this position, 270,000 killed there. And I really don't get the play with the ASFs running in. But he did go after a player in the water. Granted, had he gone after Edel, it probably would have been even a shorter match because then all of that would have been destroyed. But it was still, I understood the attempt, but it was mainly the fact that it wasn't the best choice. Granted, he couldn't have known one way or the other. He just said, click on that one, and hopefully it's a good one. So, was it the best? No. Was it a nice attempt? Yes. And then Team 2's Navy pushed, and then got stopped right here where a lot of navies get stuck because it's a huge, essentially a bottleneck slash kill box where you can have, artillery lining on the shoreline to the south and to the north. You have everything being built here by Team 1 or in, Team 2 and if you're on the other side. It's a hard place to take. Once you push through it, then it's a better position to be at. But getting through that is the hardest thing to do in Navy on this map. So there's a lot of mass was donated that way. There's so much mass, obviously, on the field still, currently sitting at over half a billion mass on. Sorry, 500,000, not a billion. Ugh. Wrong set of numbers there. 500,000 mass on the map. But again, MVPs, it's going to be between Pace, Hussar, and K240 in the south. I think overall, I think Space did a better job, and he actually got beat down earlier by all of his mass fabs and whatnot blowing up. So him going for artillery, going for nukes, I think that helped Team 1 immensely. And, of course, assisting with the construction of the Salvation also did a lot. It broke through a lot of the shielding that they needed to, and it really set them up for success. But, again, I think, like I said, Hussar gets the MVP, but not by much in terms of, everybody did very well on Team 1. So there's really no, like, oh, my goodness, this player did so good kind of thing versus everybody else. It was a very much like, close race in that regard. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you would pick for MVP. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And I will see all of you in the next one.